Hello everyone, welcome to the Wasabi Aquarium channel. Thanks for stopping by. At the time recording this video, there's only a few days left in 2020, so let's do a special episode. Today, we'll announce our top 10 best-selling aquarium plants in 2020. I've done some rankings in the past, however, those rankings were focused specifically to mid to background plants only. So I thought we'll complete the remaining plant tiers today. What are our best selling foreground plants out of store? How do they sell? One way to find out. A disclosure that these rankings are based on the actual store sales data. We will be focusing on tissue cultures as part of our rankings, so that means we'll be excluding pot plants such as Cryptocorini, Bulbitis and other epiphyte plants are all excluded. We are so surprised by the combined sales data for 2020. The numbers indicate that ratios vary in accordance to specific plant types. On the flip side, this doesn't impact our top 10 rankings, as we will only be using sales records at the time of payment in store at the cash registers. I've taken all this data and plugged it into Excel. Doing so took out the complexity in terms of determining the rankings. Keep in mind that these rankings are based on our in-store purchases only. So, without further ado, let's commence the unveiling of the top 10 rankings. Some people become awfully undecisive on choosing the plants to get. That's totally understandable, as there's so many plants to choose from. Keep in mind that these rankings are as of the time of posting this video. It will probably deviate a few percent, but it will not impact the ranks. There are always valid reasons for movement in plant popularity. There are still some constant ones that stay on the top 10 ranking consecutively. So, it may appear that I'm repeating myself on a few of these rankings. The rankings are similar in comparison to last year. You may be asking, why bother with plant rankings? Well, it's a good measure to share with you on the current trends of nature aquarium. Which plants do you think have made it to the top 10? Let's find out together, shall we? Cue the drum roll for the top 10 reveal. Number 10. Australian Dwarf Hydroquali, Trupatita. Popularity of this plant has slightly declined, but it's still in good order making these ranks. Close shave. This plant has very strong growth potential. It's easy to grow and has beautiful smallish leaf structure. This plant is great in any scape. This is due to the fact that it can be placed around various locations of the aquarium. It's a relatively good plant all around. I think it can be used in all the places in the aquascape due to its petite leaf shape. It definitely adds micro details to accentuate depth. Number 9. Glycostigma gelatinoides. This rank shocked me quite a bit. I would have thought they would be in the top 3. As you may know, it's quite widely used in the hobby. A little bit upsetting to see it at number 9. Glycostigma is a very popular foreground carpeting plant. It's a hardy plant and responds very well to consistent trimming. Are you looking for an easy carpeting plant? Then this one is definitely for you. Glycostigma is a fast growing plant and carpets very easily. Overall, Glycostigma is a very easy plant to take care of in any scape. I'm still thinking of why it's ranked number 9. I think it's probably due to trending aquarium sizes these days, as Glycostigma is more suited to aquariums 60 cm plus. Space constraints, right? Probably so. I think people pass this plant as they have relatively small aquariums. But I think you can still use it. So, I think this is probably why it's ranked number 9. It's beautiful, it's easy to use, and I think in general it's a good crowd pleaser. Just hit it with medium lighting. The plant will respond and grow vertically, resulting in a grass-like appearance. If you want to make a beautiful carpet, just crank up the lighting. I hope this helps you. On to the next contender. Number 8. Liliopsis brasiliensis. Haha, I think this looks like a big massive mess, right? Also known as cobra grass. I was so surprised to see this go to the ranks. Cobra grass is quite popular in the hobby, but I'm wondering, why did it beat Glycostigma? Oh well, it is what it is. I mentioned earlier that Glycostigma prefers strong lighting. Cobra grass grows well in low lit environments. It would be nice if lighting was evenly distributed though. Keep in mind, hardscapes such as driftwood or stone both cast shadows, preventing foreground plants to thrive. On the flip side, cobra grass does well in these conditions, and they'll stand out runners in all lighting conditions. Perhaps that's the reason why cobra grass is ranked higher than Glycostigma. Trimming frequency of cobra grass is low, as it's quite a slow growing plant. I often recommend cobra grass as a beginner-friendly plant. Intermediate and advanced users will also use it, so it's a win-win situation. So overall, it's an easy plant, just because it's slow growing. So I think it's definitely suitable for low maintenance tanks. A tip is to avoid foreground plants that are fast growing, or else trimming will be an absolute nightmare. As you probably have concluded, this is the reason why it's so popular amongst the hobby. A bit unexpected, right? On to the next. Yes, here it is. Hemianthus macranthomoides. I thought it would be ranked a bit higher, but it's ranked at number 7. As you can tell, I found this a little bit surprising. Otherwise known as pearl grass, has a strong growth and overall a beautiful plant. The ranks are sort of out of place, but that shouldn't be a problem, right? Pearl grass is an elongated type of grass that prefers soft water parameters. It's sort of a slow grower and should suit any layout. It would go well in a layout with driftwood. I think the shadowed areas will slow down the overall plant growth. Also, the plant's colour will vary depending on the water conditions. This is a slight disadvantage nonetheless. Other than that, there are no particular weaknesses, and overall a very easy plant to use. Since the plant size is small, it goes well from small to large aquariums. Pretty universal if you ask me. Next, number 6, Rotala rotundifolia green. I think this is a reasonable rank, as it's ranked higher than pearl grass. I thought it would be ranked a little higher, but 6th is respectable. After all, Rotala green is widely used in the hobby. Rotala green is a much hardier plant compared to, say, pearl grass. This is because it's compatible with various water parameters. Immediately after planting, the growth is quick, so it might not be compatible with driftwood layouts. This is due to its tall growth compared to, say, pearl grass, which suits driftwood layouts better. Rotala green is great for those playing with lighting intensities for the first time. Finally, we're in the top 5 from here on. Well, there's not much difference between these rankings and the last, as there's no significant ranking movements, but going from 5th to 10th is a totally different story. Previously ranked number 3, now ranked number 5, Eutrophical rumbanifolia, also known as UG. It's a small perennial carnivorous plant, commonly used by people due to its beautiful growth. Yes, it's a foreground plant, but requires a little nurturing. Taking that into consideration, 5th place is probably the correct ranking. However, 5th place in the ranks makes UG seem like an underdog. However, this plant has made good sales at our store. I've made a video of how to take care of it, and you can also see this in person. We've had good success with this plant in that video, with unlimited CO2. It's the dry start method. It's solid proof that it's relatively easy to nurture. You can easily propagate UG by doing dry start mist methods. No special tools required, just good lighting and good misting. Probably a little difficult to propagate if you don't dry start. I think UG should be 1 rank up. It's a shame, ranked 5 due to a little difficulty. If you are interested, please see the description box below for dry start cultivation methods. There, you'll find other related videos for you to watch. On to the next, ranked 4th place. There's slight movement in the top 5 rankings this year. Hemianthus, Glycostigma, Cuba. Yeah, I think this is a reasonable rank. It's quite popular in the hobby, so it deserves the 4th place. Also known as HC, it looks fantastic with its mini leaf structure. It's insanely beautiful. The leaves are extremely fine, making an overall plant mass look very neat. HC is used widely, from small to large aquariums with CO2. However, considering the water quality, HC is quite pedantic, so please keep this in mind. Overall, ranked 4th place is quite a good result. I think many people are especially familiar with HC. Without any hiccups, it will result in a lush, beautiful foreground carpeting plant. Stone layout such as xerostone raises water alkalinity and causes HC growth issues. In this case, the secret to success is to limit the volume of xerostone with HC. So, with that caveat in mind, I think 4th place is a very good result. These tissue cultures made by ADA are very high quality. There's a video that I made in the past about HC. After this video, scroll down and have a look at the description box below. On to the next, the top 3. You shouldn't be surprised at the top 3 plants, especially for those who have been in the hobby long enough. I personally think this should be ranked higher. But yes, this is Rotala expehra, ranked number 3 in the top 3. You might be shocked to see it ranked 3rd, right? Also, you might be asking, isn't it a red mid to background plant? After all, its popularity is due to its vivid, tense red colour. There's no doubt about it. There are various species of rotundifolia that are red in colour. Rotala rotundifolia is also quite popular, but Rotala expehra has a strong redness, vivid, and it's just beautiful with its thin needle leaf structure. It's very popular because its plant size, creeping growth, and overall appearance. There's nothing particularly difficult about this plant. The only thing that comes to my mind is the standard trimming. But are there any problems with Rotala expehra compared to indica, green, rotundifolia, and other species of Rotala? Overall, hra is a bit more sensitive. A good example is its slow growth after trimming. As there are other caveats, I feel the difficulty level is a little higher than other Rotalas, but if you dose liquid fertilizer appropriately, it will turn vivid, red, and beautiful. I personally think this is the best red plant you can buy. If I was asked what my choice of red plants are, it would be Rotala expehra on top of the list. Yeah, it's predictable, but it's an absolute no-brainer. You may be up in arms about which plant is redder, but I personally think the majority of you would choose the same plant, Rotala expehra. On to the next. Here it is. Caras, pavula, ranked 2nd on the top 3. Also known as dwarf hairgrass, it's the king of all hairgrasses. Laid out in an iwagumi style tank, it's typically the first choice as the carpeting plant. Short and has a delicate leaf structure, perfect for propagating, and results in a perfect lush carpet. Overall, it's beautiful and very easy to grow. I think this is the main reason why it's ranked 2nd. There's no particular caveats or difficulty maintaining this plant. If you're after a beautiful carpet, like you see at the golf courses, this plant is definitely for you. It's a popular choice after all, and suits all sorts of aquarium layouts, such as driftwood and stone, and all water conditions. It's pretty universal. As mentioned, it can adapt to most water parameters, so it's an easy plant to manage. Alas, one plant left in the ranks. I think the majority of you have already guessed what it is. Needless to say, I think it's okay to close off the video right now. For the sake of completeness, I'll announce it anyways. You've guessed it, ranked 1st place. It's Micranthemum sp. Yep, it was ranked first last year as well. In the genre of foreground plants, that pretty much covers it all. Also known as Monte Carlo, this is the most sold plant in our store. There's not much else to say about this plant. It's beautiful and fairly easy to maintain. It's definitely not a problem in propagating either. Dwarf hairgrass is also the same. After all, these plants are very easy to grow and they look fantastic. I think the beautiful and delicate leaves are a common feature of the popularity of this plant. Dwarf hairgrass in between will give you the ultimate nature aquarium appearance. It's a thin plant and grows quite elegantly. You may have noticed that some of our tanks have Monte Carlo as carpets. Pearl grass looks similar to this, especially when it comes to propagation and overall aesthetics. If you ask me for recommendations for foreground grass, it will definitely be Monte Carlo. It looks similar to pearl grass, right? I think you'll agree that Monte Carlo looks beautiful at all angles of the plant. I recommend that you try Monte Carlo at least once. Monte Carlo can be used to hang off hardscape, such as rock and driftwood, giving you a much more natural appearance. Even beginners can enjoy Monte Carlo without CO2 injection at all. With the help of strong lighting, it's easy to propagate into a lush green carpet. Overall, very easy to use. So, there you have it. We've completed the top 10 rankings for 2020. Yep, we spoke mainly about foreground plants. However, you may have noticed that some of them are not true foreground plants at all. So, within the top 10 we just ranked, we included mid-ground plants as well. Out of the 10, 7 mentioned with true foreground plants. For example, the inclusion of Australian Dwarf Hydroquali trupatita. Yes, I know, it's a little strange. Also 2 other plants that grow a little taller, Rotala green and Rotala expehra. But with proper trimming and maintenance, it will maintain its appearance compatible as a foreground plant. This goes the same for dwarf hairgrass. With regular trimming, it will maintain its appearance, continue to be compatible as a foreground plant. So, there you have it. A complete ranking of all the foreground plants. I think you would agree. This completes the popularity ranking from among the various plants in the nature aquarium hobby. It's good to see common and not so common plants used in the nature aquariums. Those in the top 10 are relatively easy to propagate. I hope you can use this video as reference when selecting plants for your nature aquarium in future. If you'd like to know more about plants in this or other genres, or if you have any questions, please submit them below. I will collate these requests and make future ranking videos. If you find this video useful, I would gladly appreciate it if you like, share, subscribe to the Wasabi Aquarium channel. We will continue to provide informational videos to help those eager to learn more. As you know, it takes a lot of time and effort, and your acknowledgement means a lot. It will help the channel to flourish, with more videos to help you at home. So, I'll end the video here. Thank you for watching.